We have a lot of people who watch the show for politics and like serious cultural conversations. And I actually have always like defended Bravo as part of a very serious cultural conversation. And Maureen, you have always framed it that way as well. And I think actually we probably disagree a bit on Bravo, but there was this fascinating exclusive that Kelly Bensimon, who is a Real Housewives of New York City star from when the show first started, to Star, where she talks about the second iteration, like RHONY Next Generation of the show, which was an abject disaster. Bensimon said about that reboot, quote, "Nobody cares about someone's influencing career." And in the kind of Bravo fan world, there's been a lot of conversation about how influencer culture has kind of ruined Bravo, or at least really changed Bravo. Two things kind of happened at the same time: influencer culture and cancel culture. And you take someone like Ramona Singer, who's out in the Hamptons partying with Trump fundraisers, and then down at Mar-a-Lago, like actually hanging out with Siggy Flicker and other, Trump supportive reality stars and honestly politicians, that becomes untenable for Bravo when you have cancel culture and nobody, like everyone suddenly says that your reality stars must be heroes, not anti-heroes, though they were literally always anti-heroes. The show was always, they weren't aware, but my perspective on it is it was always sort of a critique of them. They were always the butt of the joke. And it was really important to cast people who didn't know that they were the butt of the joke. But if you're an influencer, you have to be in on the joke because you're peddling shit. You're on the show to sell whatever on Poshmark. Maybe your used underwear on Poshmark, more likely some like dumb candle line or whatever it is. And it just, this really interesting, I think, arc of what media has done, not just to reality TV, because reality TV is relatively new in and of itself, but to the way that we relate to people on screens. I don't know, Maureen.
Well, the problem too, though, Emily, with reality TV is, and I was a huge, huge fan of those shows for a long time. They've gotten so dark, and they've had cast members, most recently, who they've been trying to excuse and keep around a guy who's admitted to domestic abuse, domestic violence of his wife. But what I think happened is, once you're in the reality TV world, you learn very quickly how it works. You learn very quickly what they want. You learn very quick. Even if you look at the way people hug on TV now, they do the soap opera hug, right? It's never like hugging somebody face to face, chest on. It's always like the side by side head. So you can see both expressions at once. They become actors. And they are, in a way, like they are talents in that way, but they know exactly what story they're going to do, what conflict they're going to pick up, and what they're going to leave off screen and on screen. And so what you get is a version of reality that is not true reality. Those early days were great because you had people who had no guile and really didn't know what they were doing. And then they get a look at themselves. And, you see by season 2, by season 3, they've got a better hair colorist. They've been to the plastic surgeon.
Got a better husband.
They got a better husband. The wardrobe's been upgraded. And it becomes this, you're in the machine. And what happened with the second version of RHONY was they cast people who had no pre-existing relationships to each other whatsoever. So you have no stakes. If a friendship of long standing is on the verge of breaking up, as often happens on these shows, that's real stakes. That's high stakes. If a marriage is about to break up, if a business is about to break up, but if your biggest problem is you're having trouble shipping out your eyelashes from your big, expensive, multi-million-dollar loft downtown, it's boring. Nobody wants it. And none of these women were willing to put anything real about themselves out there.
That is so true. Last question, Maureen. Do you think they're going to actually bring it back? There's rumors that it's just going to get axed, but are they serious about really trying?
I think they can try it. I don't know if you can ever recapture that lightning in a bottle again.
Completely agree. I wonder if Radziwill is auditioning in a way.
Oh, I think her whole life has been one long audition. She's ready for her close-up. Always.
We're actually ending it on I think a very profound note, what you just said, because the melding of the two mediums then becomes reality. And it changes all of our realities. Over the years, I have been clear about this. I am not just pro-birth, I am pro-life. And being pro-life means standing with mothers not only before their baby is born, but long after. And that is exactly why I partner very proudly with Preborn. Preborn doesn't just save babies, they make motherhood abundantly possible. They provide free ultrasounds and share the truth of the gospel with women in crisis. And then they stay with real practical help, including financial support for up to 2 years after the baby is born. Incredible. This is what true Christ-centered compassion looks like, not just for the baby, but for the mother too. And here's where you can make a difference, a huge difference. Just $28 provides a free life-saving ultrasound. One chance for a mother to see her baby. And when she does, she is twice as likely to choose life. Amazing. Preborn is trying to save 70,000 babies this year. So don't just say you're pro-life, live it. Help save babies and support mothers today. Go to preborn.com/Emily or call 855-601-2229. That's preborn.com/Emily.